You can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. And the Oilers, sure enough, managed to lose that game to their Pacific Division rivals from LA. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Gazzola with you alongside Ben Thomson. Matt Cassian is our game analyst. Cass will be joining us shortly. The Oilers fall 4-3 in the shootout. And there you go. Still can't win that third game in a row. 8th time they've won back-to-back games and are unable this season to convert on the third one. And here we are. Yes, they do pick up a point, take some solace in that, but we're going to break it all down as the Oil now hit the road to go to Nashville and Chicago on the dad's trip. Oh, by the way, they spoiled the 1,000th point ceremony game for Leon Draisaitl, who had a pretty decent night himself on the score sheet. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Text us 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat as well. Over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. I know you don't like the result tonight, but that's beside the point of hitting the thumbs up. We appreciate when you do. Betty Thomson, I'm sorry, man. You cannot lose that game. LA, 4 wins in their last 14. They lost in OT back home. 3 games of 4 nights. So they traveled to Winnipeg, get their asses kicked last night by the Jets, 5-1. Travel to Edmonton, get in late, don't skate today. I'll give them credit, man. Like, they gutted one out. But if you're the Oilers, that should not be a 4-3 shootout loss. That should be like a 5-2 victory in regulation time. They should be at the bar celebrating right now or on their way to the airport with a beverage on the plane, to be quite honest with you, sending Edmonton into the night on a beautiful Saturday night in the Big E in good spirits. And they totally ruined it.
Yeah, to me, that's the first thing that jumped to me right away was the Kings did not play like they were on. It was a third game in 4 nights and near the end of a road trip, and they've been struggling. They looked like the Kings team that was stuck to their system, was very good in their own end. Good, just they didn't make the life of the Oilers easy at all. They were playing hard on them, and I mean, you could see it. Connor, despite scoring a goal tonight, struggled a lot. I thought he had some looks and stuff, but this was probably like the most he has struggled in a game in this, this whole 18-point streak he's been on. So, yeah. And then, I mean, from the Oilers' perspective, yeah, I need to win this one. I was kind of sitting there like it's in the second period, it was tied 2-2, and I'm sitting there going, I'm just waiting for that like one goal to go in for the Oilers, and then another one right after, kind of like the Nashville game a little bit, where you kind of just feel it coming. And it never ended up coming. And I mean, the Kings had a better second period and third period than the Oilers, had more looks, but I mean, in the end, they probably deserve to win that one. But the Oilers had better looks in overtime. Could have ended there too. But yeah, it was not the best game for the Oilers, but I don't think it was their worst as well. We've seen worse from them. It's just one of those situations like you should win that hockey game. You don't. Yeah. Good on the Kings for stepping up and playing a pretty solid game here in Rogers Place.
LA surprisingly pretty good on the back half of back-to-backs. I think they're now 5-1-1 so far this season. All right, let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. That's the line to text us, and then you can hop in on the nasty chat. I'll read a few texts off, and then we'll get Cass in here. He is ready to go. We'll also have Reid Wilkins stop by after he works the locker room down at Rogers Place. We'll go to Colorado Rusty saying Oilers need to mix it up on the shootout, put some of the kids out there, different look. Also, McDavid's goal in OT should have counted. Colorado Rusty, I was going to bring it up earlier, but that's interference.
Yeah.
I understand the will for it to not be interference, but he made contact before the puck went in, and I understand why they made that call. They reviewed it. A crowd wanted it. I think all of Oil Country wanted it, but I think ultimately the right call was made on that one after you watched it a few times. Yes, he got pushed, but it was towards the end after he had already made contact with the netminder, and so that's it's a tough one to.
I don't think the contact affected the goal necessarily. Like, to me, I think
but he made contact.
No, exactly. And that's what I was about to say. Like
he bumped Forsberg before Doughty pushed him.
Yeah. So to me, the bump itself didn't just stop Forsberg from making the save, but it's also you can't make contact with the goalie in that situation. So I understood the call. I understand why some people would be mad about it, but I think if you turn around the other way and the Kings scored a goal like that and they counted it, I think everyone would be losing it right now. Like, why is that not goalie interference? Blah, blah, blah. So I think ultimately it was the right call.
Yeah. Let's go to Dirty Curdy. Says, lucky to get a loser point. Arrogant, half-ass effort against the team on the ropes after back-to-back. Just out-battled all over the ice. Ingram looks like Pickard 2.0. It's a pick-em on who you keep up when Jari is ready. Every game is a grind with this team, and 3 is a distant hope. That's from Dirty Curdy. And we'll go to Stanley in YYC. Says, feels like the Oilers won't ever win 3 games in a row this season. Let's welcome in our game analyst, Matt Cassian, now, as we get set to break this one down. Stanley and YYC kind of has a point. Like, if ever this season there was a more prime opportunity to make it 3 straight wins, this was it, Cass. And I just said it off the top. Like, you had to win that game.
Yeah.
You had to win that game, and they blew it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they had to win it, but they did blow it.
Come on, Cass. You got to beat a team in a situation like LA's in.
You should. A team that hasn't been playing great, 3 games in 4 nights, all kinds of travel in different time zones. You should beat them. And there was moments like I kind of thought towards the end of the second period, Edmonton was. I was like, okay, Edmonton's picking up some momentum here. LA's starting to drag a little bit. Like there's some shifts that they started to spend in the offensive zone, some opportunities. And then at the intermission, LA got a little bit more jam again, little breathing space, and Edmonton wasn't able to produce what they needed to. I don't know. I guess you're right. It should have been one they won. I'm not freaking out about it, but it would have been nice. Would have been a little bit more of a dagger, I think, for LA and their playoff hopes. Division game, ends up being a not a 4-point game for the Oilers, but a huge 2 points for the LA Kings. And you just kind of flat for chunks of the game, which is a little disappointing when you could have been the throat steppers, throat crushers, whatever you want to call it, like the team that just kind of puts them out of their misery, and you didn't do it.
Edmonton gives up a little bit of ground to the Golden Knights, who won tonight. That is 3 straight victories for Vegas, something that the Oilers are unable to do this season. Edmonton now at 51 points, Vegas at 52, San Jose at 49. Now that LA wins this one, picks up 2 points in the shootout, they are tied with Seattle at 48 points. Seattle and LA holding down the 2 wildcard spots right now. So it makes it a little bit tighter, especially the Pacific Division where nobody's really running away with it. That was an opportunity wasted. Where could you tell that the Oilers weren't going to just take off in this game? Was it at the beginning? Or did you think that LA would lose its jump after maybe the first 20 minutes? Because I'll give LA credit. They gutted one out tonight, and they did everything in their power to get in Edmonton's way. They slowed up McDavid. They played annoying hockey. Like, if I would have been on the ice, I would have been like, these guys are so annoying right now. And kudos to LA for doing that.
Yeah, I think for me, because I figured they were going to have some jump at the start of the game. Edmonton was up a goal, and I was like, okay, if they get out of this period, like if Edmonton comes out of the period 1-0, could be done. Could be over. Like, that could be all she wrote. But the moment I was like, LA's got some life, or a significant amount of life, was when Corey Perry got his power play goal. Especially since LA's power play has been so atrocious, it just kind of felt like that was LA's step back in a major way. And I think even more so that it was Corey Perry that did it, just with the history with Corey Perry and the Edmonton Oilers, and doing it against his former team where he had done it multiple times against LA. That to me was a moment where I was like, oh, they got a game on their hands. And it seemed like that gave a significant amount of life to the LA Kings. I don't know, Benny, like would you have said the same thing from a timing standpoint, or do you think it was maybe a little bit earlier in the game.
I actually kind of, I guess in the actual question itself, yes, I agree with you 100%. But to me, I always had faith. To me, it just felt like one of those games where it's like, okay, Oilers are going to eventually jump on them and they're going to take off. The goal for me that was like, okay, no, this team is like, this is going to be a tight one, was the third goal in the third period when there's Laferriere tip in. Like that to me, I was like, okay, now they're down and they got 14 minutes off in the third period. LA's played a pretty damn good defensive game. This is not going to be a win. I think we're all talking about, the Oilers played fantastic tonight. This is going to have to be, if they win it, a gutless one where they had to pull one out and kind of stick with it. And I mean, they got a 5-on-3 and good for them to capitalize on that. If they didn't, I mean, that's the biggest error in the game, right? So that was a big moment there and they end up capitalizing on it. But I still had faith that they were going to jump ahead just kind of with their play recently. But I think that third period first goal for LA, I think it changed the landscape of how the game ends up falling out. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough for the Oilers.
Okay, that one text, was it Stanley and YYC? No, it was Dirty Curdy that had it and made the comment about Connor Ingram and pick your poison or pick them between Pickard and Ingram and whatever kind of thing. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing Dirty Curdy, but essentially that was the sentiment behind that line in the text. Ingram tonight, 900 save percentage. He had 30 shots, 27 saves. Got beat on the shootout there. Oilers couldn't score on the shootout. Some interesting moves by, Nugent Hopkins had Forsberg and then just couldn't elevate. Draisaitl tries the slapper, goes off the shaft up high above the blocker on Forsberg, and then McDavid, it wasn't working on the breakaway for him tonight, and shootout included. But the comment about Ingram, Cass, what would you say? And then the question of the night that Benny threw out there on the pregame show had to do with Ingram. And he said, was this the most important start for Connor Ingram in making a case to be the backup when Tristan Jarry comes back?
Yeah. Do you guys think he did enough tonight?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think it's
probably
absolutely
not.
Still anyone's job.
Yeah, anyone's job. Well, and Pickard has to clear waivers and Ingram doesn't.
As of right now, yeah.
As of right now. And so, I thought he was all right. Like he was fine.
Give him a chance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. He did. He gave him a chance. Probably didn't do enough to clearly, in the minds of everybody, and we talked about that before the game, like from a recency bias standpoint, to be like, hey, no, you can't. Like he did not force the issue so solidly that they have no choice but to leave him up here and to try to clear Pickard through waivers. So as Jarry gets close to coming back, and maybe that's not a horrible thing. Like, you have a good option in Connor Ingram if someone gets hurt, if Pickard goes down, or if Pickard doesn't play well at all. Like you have options. If Jarry gets hurt again, you have options. But yeah, I don't think he did enough to cement it in my mind that I'm like, got to send Pickard through waivers.
There was a quote from Knoblock earlier today where it was loosely mentioned that they could be carrying three goalies. I don't know if they actually actually do that or not, but to me, is that not just how do you rotate three goalies, especially when Tristan Jarry would be your starter? Do you see a world where they try to rotate three guys and then have a longer sample size, or is it when Jarry comes back, you're immediately, okay, you got to make your decision?
Sorry, I missed that. I was coughing. I apologize, Benny. Say that again.
So there was a quote from Knoblock loosely saying that they might be, I don't know if it was taking out of context or not, but it was talking about a goaltending carousel with the three goalies that they have. Do you think there's any chance at all that they carry three goalies to see if they want to get a longer sample size of one of these two guys? Or do you think it's when Tristan Jarry's back, they're making that decision?
Well, I mean, they don't have any, like you guys outlined, that Ingram didn't make it more decisive tonight. So maybe they do have the three-headed goalie monster for a little bit, and then they have to make their decision, but it's not ideal.
What cap space?
I don't know. I mean, they're moving guys out. Guys are on LTIR right now. You're right. They'd have to tap dance. That's Bill Scott working his magic. But I don't think it's ideal. It's never ideal. Every goalie you talk to that's been stuck with two other guys on the roster does not like it. It creates some weird animosity and vibe around the team. I think it'd be better to just make a decision when Jari's ready to go, and that might be sooner than we thought. And you know what? Maybe that saves Pickard, you guys. Maybe that saves Pickard because of the whole 10 games for Connor Ingram. That was game number 6 for him, and maybe they quote unquote save a few bullets to use with Ingram and maybe bring him up again at another point this season. What do you think, Cass?
Yeah, they might. It's the easiest answer, right? Like that's the simple answer, which is where it makes the most sense to me. Like you don't risk a player on waivers. You can send Ingram down. Not ideal for him. He probably wouldn't be happy about it because he's played well enough to be here. It's not like he hasn't. He just hasn't played so well that you are going to be willing to put Pickard on waivers. And Pickard's had some good games in there too. Mm-hmm. It's not like Pickard struggled the entire time Ingram was here. Right. Like Pickard, he had some nights. That game in Winnipeg in particular, we could look at as being a really good one. So yeah, I mean, I can't see them doing 3. I just can't see it.
Yeah, it's fair. I asked that, and I mean with the Pickard thing, like he's had the best game out of, if you were to combine Pickard since Ingram has been up. Ingram versus Pickard. Pickard has had the best game so far we've seen. Like he stole that game in Winnipeg. Ingram hasn't stolen the game necessarily, but there's been games where he's looked a little bit rough. I wouldn't say tonight was a horrible game for him. You think you'd like a save here or there, but yeah, it's an interesting debate. I'm very curious to see where they go.
All right, have your say. Text us 780-218-9999. The Oilers losing the shootout 4-3 to the LA Kings. Cannot find that elusive third win in a row. They now hit the road. They will be in Chicago and Nashville coming up here. It's the dad's trip, and we'll see if they could bounce back. But, man, what an opportunity spoiled. Let's go to this text. It says, the Oilers lost way too many of the board battles. The players that usually got called out for being soft were soft. No names needed. Stetcher better and more reliable than Regula, Emberson, and Stillman. Stillman got sent down today, by the way, everyone. Another example of poor asset management. That first power play goal was terrible by Ingram. Simple glove catch, fumbled. No reason. No name on that text, but certainly spicy meatball right there. Taco says, what the heck was that Draisaitl slap shot all about? Woof. Yeah, it hit the shaft of the stick above the blocker, so almost, I guess. Randy says, at least the, quote, reffing was bad both ways, unquote. Right, Tommy? Haha, Randy. Yeah, I guess so, Randy. I don't know. Like, if that's what you want to go to, sure. Jason Texas says, Dustin's eating Popeyes for sure. This goes back to the bet. What did we make of the lines again tonight? Is there going to be any movement? Did we like the third line again? I don't think you're touching that first line. What do we think, guys?
Yeah, you're not touching the first line.
No.
I mean, 5-on-5, they're okay. 5-on-5, they're okay. Like the fourth line played fourth line minutes tonight, and they were same thing. They were fine. It wasn't like they were the problem. Lazar does end up -1. Yeah, I mean, you didn't like Howard taking that penalty. I didn't think that was a great one from a timing standpoint. Not fantastic, but yeah, like I think you have seen, and you maybe saw it again today, is like Roslovic isn't the most ideal center. Like still a little bit more suited to playing on the wing in that group. I think you could see it again tonight, from a defensive zone standpoint, forcing turnovers in the defensive zone. And that's just, he may not be a natural center, and he's not a guy that has played a ton of center. May just be better on the wing. And so it wasn't as good as we have seen it. Not that we've seen it for that many games, but I don't know, guys, after this one, I don't know that you're wanting to change those top two lines, and you're not going to move up any guys from the fourth line to that third line. So you're probably going to keep them the same for at least one more. I have to think.
100%.
You're keeping them the same one more time.
To me, Connor's on an 18-game point streak. Don't mess with his line mates. And then, I mean, to be honest with you right now, like the bet that was made earlier this week with Kappen and Pods and Dry sticking together, I think it's minus money right now for that line to stick together through this next week or until the bet's over. The top six seems like they have their chemistry going. It's more you got to figure out the bottom six. And I agree with you. It's Roslovic. He's definitely a winger, and you could tell he doesn't like playing center. He said it to the media, like his skills and what like he's a better perimeter player that can make skill plays for guys that are willing to transfer through the middle. And for him, I think it's probably best if he's on the wing. I just don't know if they'll move him there with Henrique being hurt. And I just don't think they trust anyone in that 3C slot outside of him. So, yeah, I think the top six stays the same for the most part. But it's that bottom, so you got to try to get going. But I don't know how you do that with some guys being hurt and just who you got up here. So, yeah, it's a tough spot they're in.
I tell you what, I still like my chances of winning the Popeyes for the entire station on Wednesday. There's a couple games before then, so just relax, guys. Everyone's Popeyes for Dustin, pasta for Dustin. Oh boy, that's funny. Let's go to Kamloops. Jay Texan says Oilers look like the team that played last night, not LA. Brutal effort, 97, frustrating to watch tonight. Cass, I know Kamloops Jay brings up how tough it was to watch McDavid. He had some really good opportunities, but it felt like he was smothered.
Yeah, I thought LA did a pretty good job from a containment standpoint at times, but he did still find ways to generate chances. Like he did. He probably had, we'd have to see the actual numbers, but I would assume he had 3 grade A scoring chances tonight, excluding overtime, like during the regular, just regulation time. And then another 1 or 2 during overtime. So he had opportunities. That being said, I did think LA did a decent job of checking him close. And we've seen, that Doughty play happen before, like where he does a decent job. He's still a good defenseman. And LA at times in the past has done that. So, but it wasn't the guys, like, it wasn't completely smothered. Like they did limit, but it wasn't like we're like, ooh, McDavid had a horrible game. And I guess it was in a 5-on-3, but still found a way to put another point in, keep the streak alive.
Almost had the winner too, right?
Yeah.
All right, 780-218-9999. Defensively, we saw a different alignment. We saw Regula back in action. I saw a note on the nasty chat. It said, time to make Regula irregular in the lineup. They sent Stillman down, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. They moved Stasny back to the third pairing. Wallman is close by all accounts, guys. What do you do? And this is constantly a topic. I've asked you, Cass. I've asked Belzy. The guys on the rest of the shows on our station have talked about it. Like, what do you do with this guy who's approaching 50 NHL games played? Right shot D-man, tall, expected to be able to move the puck. Like, he's drawn the ire of the fan base because he's made some mistakes and it's cost them. And I understand where the fans are coming from, but I feel like there's zero room for error from a fan's point of view for Regula right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a little more room when he's in the third pairing. That being said, even today, plays underneath 10 minutes. And the coaching staff, I think it seems to me, is at the point where there's not a lot of room for error in his game. And the problem is that there was a lot of error, and there has been. Like it's not that he didn't have leash.
Yes.
It's that he used it up, right? Like he had opportunity and he used it up. I mean, the guy was on the second pairing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and they didn't
opportunity.
Tons of opportunity. So it's not like they peeled him back unnecessarily and been like, oh, and we can look at this and be like, man, they haven't even given the guy a chance. They gave him plenty of chances. He struggled and mightily at times, turned too many pucks over, and is at the point now where he was out of the lineup and now played under 10 minutes. So when Wallman does come back, he's probably going to be now. Could he be the seventh defenseman where they have him in the press box, not necessarily sending him down or potential losing him or anything like that? That's most likely going to be the case. If, again, from a cap standpoint, they can make it work, and Bill Scott can get cooking, then yeah, he's going to be the guy sitting in the press box because I don't want to say he's a turnover machine. That's far too harsh, but he's struggled mightily at times and does not have the confidence in himself to make plays well, or is just reaching, and the coaching staff doesn't have the confidence in him to do it either.
Listen, this is a situation of the Oilers' own making, right? They go and they pluck him off waivers from Boston. Boston, by all accounts, had a plan for Regula. He tore his knee. He was rehabilitating it. The Oilers go get him. He has a history with Stan Bowman. So now the Oilers need to use him. Otherwise, they could lose him. And right shot D-men are such a commodity around the National Hockey League that they feel like they could put time, effort, money, and all that into developing him. And now they're in a situation where they did lose Troy Stetcher, a useful veteran D-man who was having some tough times here, among many other defensemen, because in the early parts of the season, guys, the Oilers' defense as a whole and the blue line as a whole, not up to snuff. There's no denying it. So now they've created this scenario where they're kind of stuck with Regula, and this is what we're getting. Because Wallman's hurt and can't be on the second pair. You can't play Regula in what he should have been, and that's a third pairing D-man. Now they've created this jam, and they're stuck with it. And it's drawing the ire of the fan base for good reason, because he's making mistakes that is costing them. It's probably frustrating the coaching staff. And he's playing, 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. He was a healthy scratch. They called up Riley Stillman. Like, they created this situation by being insistent that he's up here. And he had a great camp. And he did a good job. But this is a situation totally created by the Edmonton Oilers, putting a lot on Regula's plate, and then circumstance with injuries. And when I say he's only he just played his 49th game, NHL game. He's 25 years old. I don't know if I'm necessarily defending him, but I'm saying it in a way that's recognizing how long it takes for defensemen to develop in the NHL. And when there's zero patience from a fan base that's wanting a Stanley Cup right now, and rightly so, I'm just trying to outline that. So I'm not dumping on Regula, but at the same time, I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm just saying, here's the scenario that has been created by the Oilers, going out, getting him, keeping him up here, and then, waiving a Troy Stetcher. It just,
you're absolutely right. Like it's not, I mean, the turnovers are his fault. They are. But, the situation is not his fault, where more was probably asked from him, and you could have or would have normally want to slow play him a little bit. But you can't. I mean, that's not your roster. The second you traded Kulak, you couldn't slow play it. You couldn't. So, I mean, here we are. So it's not all his fault.
They created this jam.
But they did. Themselves.
And there's some unfortunate circumstances that happen. And I don't know, like, you see the comments and the texts about him, and I get where they're coming from. And then I'm just like, but he's only played this many games. Although I'm not trying to say, no, keep putting him out there, because we're seeing the results. No bueno right now, right? So it's tough. And then even that injury, he got rocked by Evander Kane. I kind of wondered, Cass, like, going all the way back to the second game of the season, was that just him being a young, inexperienced guy in the NHL, not knowing that there was a guy that could crush you on his pony, ready to come at you?
I mean, it's just a mistake, right? Just a mistake. And is that not recognizing that Evander Kane's out there? Maybe a little bit, but the guy's played pro hockey. Like, you got to know, as a defenseman, walking around the net, get your head up, right? Get your head up, be looking. Yes, maybe sometimes when you're the top pony in town, you can get away with some of that. But even though there's less hitting now in the NHL and guys get blown up way less and way more on the stop and get back as opposed to finishing checks. He should have had his head up in that one. But I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that video again. It's been a while. I vaguely remember it. I think that injury did set him back a little bit too. But as teams come out of training camp and as the season gets further along, the play does get better. It gets better all the way up until you hit not even the dog days of the year, but post trade deadline when you have teams that are all the way out of it. So some teams play drops dramatically, and then some teams are pushing for the playoffs. And so, even though he was out for a while with the injury, play continued to get better in terms of overall and everyone around the league. And he just kind of came back and he was at the same.
Fair enough. All right, Cass, the Oilers will hit the road. They got the dad's trip. Usually these are pretty fun. The dads like to have a good time. I remember when I was traveling with the team, the dads that are still here like to rip it up a little bit. And they go Chicago, Nashville, Monday and Tuesday. How do they regroup and get back into the win column and potentially put them in a situation to win a third straight game for the first time this season, coming home on Thursday the 15th?
Yeah. Will they actually put themselves in a position to do that?
That's the question.
That's the question. Listen, it's so interesting because it's another half reset, right? And I call it a half reset because you did get a point still. But you're heading into a situation now where you are going to be the team that has back-to-back games and 3 games in 4 nights. And ultimately, 4 games in 6 nights. So you got a lot of hockey, and it's with travel too, and in different time zones. So you're going to be the team here now in that situation. And Chicago's been playing pretty well. Nashville, I know you won that game the other day and you dominated, but they have been playing better as a whole. I think they got shut out tonight, so you may be dropping a little bit. And then the Islanders, who are also playing well, you're at home. So you've got a couple decent teams coming up here. And yet again, you couldn't continue to build the momentum. Now, if they continue to go win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, your record ultimately ends up being pretty good. And that's not a horrible spot to be in, or win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1 in overtime. Like they're chipping away at getting points here, which is good. But Tom, you got to think at some point they really have to look at this and go, we have an opportunity here to seize control of the Pacific.
Yes.
And yes, it's not all division games here, but you got to find a way to do it. I mean, Chicago and Nashville, you got to think you would like them to see them go 1-0-1, right? I mean, obviously, ideally, you want to see them win 2 in a row and then go for the third against the Islanders at home. But, back-to-back games on the road. Okay, if you go 1-0-1, you're probably okay with that. And then want to win the game against the Islanders as well. But fellas, got to get that momentum back again. Like I don't feel that they had the jam that they should have had that game against the Kings. And we want to see them get it back against Chicago.
Chicago, by the way, 6-3-1 in its last 10, 19-19-7 on the season, 10-9-4 at home. The Hawks, they played last night, lost 5-1 to Washington. I'm just checking the out-of-town scores. They won 3-0 over Nashville. So the two teams the Oilers will face on this mini road trip. That's what happened tonight in that Central Division battle. Nashville, meanwhile, 6-4 in its last 10, 20-20-4 on the season. Home record of 11-10-2. So it's not necessarily easy. And then you come home for that game next Thursday against a New York Islanders team that's 25-15-5. Second place in the Metro as of right now, 6-2-2 in its last 10. So you have some work to do. All right, Betty, did you have anything for Cass before we let him go? Nah for tonight?
I didn't. Cassian, have a good sleep tonight. Great job on the
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
It was a late one, buddy.
It was a late one.
Okay, have a good rest of your weekend, Cass. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, fellas. You too.
There's Matt Cassian, our game analyst, breaking down the Oilers' 4-3 shootout loss to the Los Angeles Kings. Lots of text to get to, 780-218-9999. And we do have a couple of clips that will play from the Oilers locker room. Let's go to Twitter Mary, who texts in. Twitter Mary says, I'm trying really hard not to be super mad at Drew Doughty for getting in Connor's way this evening. They need to work on their synergy. I hope all the dads on the dad weekend are not going to call Coach K tonight to give him strategic advice. No calls tonight, Twitter Mary. It's all discussions with libations on the plane, if any. But usually the coaches, the entire coaching staff is dialed into clips on their laptops on these flights, having witnessed it firsthand. Let's go to Scoobs. Scoob says, guys, is Pickard like the third worst goalie in the NHL statistically? I'll hang up and listen to your answer off air. Yeah, his numbers are not particularly great. Binnington, awful. What a year it's been.
Yeah.
Mark texts in and says, can't win them all. Good game. And then Adam the Axe guy says, Tommy, quote unquote, king of context, Gazzola. Appreciate you pointing out the nerdy details. Adam the Axe guy. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but I appreciate it. And then this text says, at this point, do you think the Oilers need to trade for a sixth defenseman or bottom six scoring? I replied, definitely need to get a defenseman. The follow-up was, you don't think Nurse, Wallman, and Emberson with Stasny is solid enough? Simply, no, I don't. I would like to see them bolster the blue line. A lot of inexperience. We talk about Regula, rightly so, most nights. And Stasny's been good, but, I mean, they tried him on the right side in the second pair, and then they moved him right back tonight. And I think that's where he's better served. He's just creeping up on 100 NHL games. Mm-hmm. And again, like young guy, 25, and needs to just become a consistent, everyday, confident NHL defenseman. And that takes time and trial and error. And we're watching Regula go through it. But I like what Statsny's done. I really think that he has been a pleasant surprise. And let's see if he continues to grow and develop, but it's encouraging. Absolutely. Yep. So it's not all bad. Emberson has just kind of quietly gone about his business too. Most nights he's all right. Sometimes he makes mistakes, but he's okay. I think he'd be like an ideal 7.
Yeah.
Emberson, if you could get him there.
That's why I think if they, at the deadline, you go get one more D-man. I'm fine with Stastny playing.
That's what I think.
I'm fine with Stastny playing in your top 6 in a playoff game. I think you can hide an inexperienced defenseman that has surprised you so far this year. So, yeah, I think ideally Emberson's your 7. Stastny plays in your top 6, and you bring in probably a right shot defenseman to play with him.
Man, right shot D-man. They're so highly coveted right now. Yeah. Okay, let's go inside the Oilers locker room. What do we have, Benny?
We have McDavid and captain. Let's go. Let's hear from the captain after today's game. This is Connor McDavid from the locker room tonight.
That play in overtime where obviously the puck went in, but they didn't allow the goal. What did you see on that play and the review and all the stuff that happens?
I mean, yeah, I go there, the puck's there. Whatever, they make a call. It is what it is.
Were you did you feel you tapped it in before you were shoved, or how did it feel at the time?
I feel like I have the puck and I'm taking it to the net and I'm getting pushed in. I feel like I also kind of maybe tap it on the other side. So, but obviously, the refs and the situation room have to make a call, and they felt differently, and that's the way it goes.
How'd you feel about the effort overall today?
That was right. Yeah.
When it comes to 18 game point streak, where does that rank in some of your accomplishments? How proud are you for that?
I just want to play good hockey. That's all really. Help this team win games, and I feel like we've been winning games, but got to find a way to win a couple more.
Connor, you guys have been winning games. Just can't seem to kind of get that streak yet, right? You can't get that third one in a row, 8th time this year now. You get close, but you can't get it. Anything as to why that is for you guys struggling to kind of put together a long streak of wins?
No, I don't think so. I thought we had looks to win this game. I don't know what it is really. Got to find a way to put a streak together. I keep on saying it's an important stretch for us. We got to put a string together.
Good night for Leon. Fun night. Families here and stuff. Gets a couple goals. Did you, at one point, you guys? I know you were trying to feed him for the hat trick. Would you like to see him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, fun night for him. Obviously, exciting night, special night for him. Celebrating his 1,000 points and having his family in town. special night for him.
Just quickly, thoughts on the dad's trip and just what it means. You've been through these a lot, but always kind of fun. A little extra juice when the dads are around, you find?
Yeah, it's always fun. It's a great opportunity to bond with each other. Each other's families. Dads or whoever is on the trip. It's always a good time. Looking forward to it.
All right, there's Connor McDavid. Extends his point streak to 18. That's a career high. And going back to the goal that was disallowed in overtime years ago, that would have stood. That would have been a goal, right? I said earlier, the right call was made because that's just kind of what it's become now. Do I like it? No, I don't. I thought that hockey's gotten softer in general, quote unquote. Probably should have been a goal if you wanted to play old school hockey.
Oh, here we go.
No, we're just gonna leave it.
Okay,
we're gonna leave it.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna leave it. But I understand. I watched it they have it on the highlights. I watched it on my computer. I'm like, it's kind of BS, but those are the rules, and that's how they call it now. And I could see why they didn't overturn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's Connor McDavid. He just wants to play good hockey. Not really thinking about it, and an opportunity to do it on Monday in Chicago. Let's go back inside the Oilers locker room. We have Kasperi Kapanen, who is locked into that spot on the second line for now.
Locked, not moving.
We'll see. We'll see. Couple games to go still. Let's hear from Kapanen after today's 4-3 shootout loss to the Kings.
In the playoffs, was that same old Kings? They play hard to get shots, hard to get to the net sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's the same team that we've been facing for some time now, and listen, I thought they played pretty well, especially playing last night too. So they had their moments, and we had our moments tonight too, and then just the way it went tonight. I thought honestly we had a pretty good effort tonight, and that's hockey sometimes.
I think what's the difference tonight?
Not a whole lot. Both teams had chances. I think both teams defended well at times. They do try to clog up that neutral zone pretty well, and I think at times we got it through it pretty well, and other times we turned it over and kind of fed into their transition. So it's just the little things today, and obviously in a shootout, I feel like it can go either way. So, but yeah, that's it.
Fitting that on Leon tonight, you fed him for that first goal.
Yeah, well, I think we all knew he was going to score tonight, right? So, he's had such an amazing career thus far, and then he's going to keep on scoring. So, whenever you can get the puck to him, that close to the net, it's usually has a good chance of going in.
You guys are winning more games than you're losing, and you're sitting in a playoff spot. So, does that not winning 3 in a row thing, is that a big deal? Is that something that you think about?
You always want to try to win every game, especially against these guys, being in the same division. So we all knew it was a big match tonight. And like I said earlier, I thought we played a pretty good game tonight. So this one stings a little bit, but we got the dad trip coming up. So I think everybody's excited for that. And we're going to play 2 tough games. So just looking forward to that.
Fitting that Perry was going to.
Well, I think we all knew he was going to score tonight too, right? So, it's no surprise.
Given the McCarr streak that he's put together here, 18 games, how impressive is that?
Yeah, he's a once-in-a-lifetime player, and we're obviously happy to have him on our side and happy to see the levels that he's able to get to, and it's really remarkable to see it. But we also do see that side that he does put in the effort off the ice, and especially in practice, and he leads this group in that way. So it's no surprise that he's the best in the world right now.
Of course, the priority is to get 2 points in the standings, but how are you feeling about your game right now? Looks like you're moving well out there, you're producing points. How's the confidence?
Yeah, confidence is great. I'm honestly a little surprised about how good I feel. I think whenever you're out that long, it always takes some time to kind of get into the games, but ever since that first game, I felt pretty good, and I think today I probably felt the best I've felt so far. So I just got to keep doing that and keep my confidence high, and hopefully our line will just keep producing.
All right, there's Kasperi Kapanen. He picks up an assist tonight. Also ends up +2. Continues to play well since his return from injury on that line with Podkolzin and Leon Draisaitl. All right, before we bring in Reid Wilkins for Reid's Read, it is the turning point of the game presented by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. I'm just going to go to the shootout on this one. The only guy to score, Adrian Kempe, really nice move on Connor Ingram, kind of a little shimmy, a little shake, quick hands. You saw that down low shot on the replay on the broadcast, and he goes bar down. Great play by Kempe, very smooth, super skilled player, and he was lethal in the shootout. Nobody else able to score, and that ends up being the difference as the Kings win it 4-3. Of course, if you're nicked up and you need a little bit of work on your body, somebody to fix you up, make you feel better, go check out our good friends over at Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. Let's bring in Reid Wilkins. Is he good to go? Reid, give me a thumbs up. You are good to go. Okay. All right, let's bring Rick in for Reid's Read. Brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialist. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. I heard you coughing. Are you sick too? I've been coughing. My throat's scratchy. I'm stuffed up. I've been hitting up immune boosters and tea and this and that, trying to stay warm. Are you all right, Rick, or did I sense a bit of a cold?
It's just a little dry. I need a glass of water or something.
Okay,
I'll get God. It afterwards. Or a splash of Coke. I don't think I have any Coke in the house.
Oh,
I was digging in my bag for the NHL rule book. Guess what rule I'm looking up?
Goaltender interference. Call it a hunch.
Did you have time? I heard most of the show, but maybe it was on while I was getting in. Did you play the Knoblock post?
Do we have it?
not yet, but
You said he had a good quote. Can you paraphrase it?
So he's thought that the goal. Gregor asked him about that goal, and he kind of just said he thought it should have counted, and he didn't really say much else. And then I had the mic next, and I said, "Okay, well, I'm not trying to put you in a situation here, get in trouble talking about a call, but what did you see on that play, or in comparisons to others, that made you think it should have counted?" And he said Connor was cutting in, put the puck past Forsberg.
Yeah,
I think he meant kind of around.
Yeah,
and then tapped it and was shoved in. I got to admit, guys, and I don't want to make the whole show about this, but I've just found the whole goalie interference thing over the last few years really fascinating. Yes, frustrating.
I started getting mad about 10 minutes ago, thinking about it and talking it through, and I had to stop myself.
Well, when I was already downstairs in the media room, and most of the other media guys were like, "Oh, clear, no goal." And I said, guys, I could see this counting. Like, nothing surprises me with these.
That's a fair point.
No, and I'm not. You got to remember, I'm going off things I've seen in the interpretation of the rule. The goal shall be disallowed only if, 1, an attacking player, either by his positioning or contact, impairs the goalkeeper's ability to move freely within his crease or defend his goal. Or 2, an attacking player initiates intentional or deliberate contact with the goalkeeper inside or outside of his crease. Incidental contact with a goalie will be permitted when it's outside the crease.
That was incidental inside the crease in this instance.
Then there's another rule where there's another part of this that a player has a right to pursue the puck once it's in the crease. And that's why I thought that this goal might count.
Reid, there was a time where that goal would have counted. It would not even have been questioned. But we're about 10 to 15 years past that era.
No, I know. I just, to me, that was not, and people might think I'm nuts, and that's fine. And this isn't why, the Oilers would have won if it would have counted.
Right.
But a player has a right to pursue a puck that's in the crease. And he has the right to bump the goaltender if it's incidental contact. Like, he can't go out, but if he's reaching for a loose puck in the crease and hits the goalie, then it's okay. Like, remember that? It's not exactly the same, but remember that one Parayko scored in overtime against the Flames last year or the year before? and everybody thought it wouldn't count.
Right. Yeah, I
He
do
slapped
actually.
the pad, but he kind of hit the puck first.
Yes.
Like, he has a right to get the puck. And the specific thing that made me think that play might count is because McDavid got the shaft of his stick on the puck before it went off the post and in.
Right.
So I wondered if they were going to look at that and say, well, yeah, Connor bumped the goalie, but he's trying to play the puck and did so. But I think they ruled that before that and before Doughty pushed him, he had already contacted Forsberg.
Yeah.
So it's a close play. I'm just going to tell people, you're at some point later this season or in the playoffs, we're going to be watching a game, and a play like that looks like that might count, because maybe he's going to hit the puck before he hits the goalie, and it's going to count.
Goalie interference continues to be an enigma. Seriously. And I'm with you.
Official rule book, it's rule 69 if anybody has one of these. It actually is the rule number.
I didn't say anything.
I'm not
Reid, I did not say anything.
Yeah, you were smirking.
Really.
All right, Reid Wilkins joining us for Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell. The game as a whole, like the fact that it got to a shootout, didn't get past overtime. The fact that LA had a lead after everything the Kings have gone through, the travel, the 3 games in 4 days. Like, to me, this was a missed opportunity by the Oilers. And you heard the guys, like, they should have a 3-game winning streak by game 45, 46 of the regular season. It has not happened in 8 instances this season.
Well, yeah, what are we, 10 games away from our unofficial franchise record, Tom, of longest stretch from the start of the season without a 3-game winning streak?
That's right.
I mean, they played okay. I mean, they played okay. I don't think they played terrible. They played okay. You know how LA is going to play. They're going to clog it up. They're not going to give you much. They did that. If you listen to some of the people out of LA, Hiller should be coaching for his job.
Bernstein said that today on the pregame show.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I've heard some other things coming out of there too. Yeah, like, you know how they clog it up. They don't forecheck unless they really have a chance to pounce. They're as good as anybody at limiting McDavid, probably just because they've played him so many times over the years, and they're used to some of the things that he tries to do. I will say, I said this last year going into the playoffs, and I'll say it again. I think the Kings' goaltending can be exploited if a team can crank it up a little bit and really pressure them. The Oilers did it to Kemper last year after the first 2 games. They really got to him. They did it to Korpisalo. They did it to Talbot. Maybe the series with Quick weren't quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, guys. Like, I know it was a 5-on-3. McDavid's goal, that's an awful goal on Forsberg. Like, let's face it. Like, if an Oiler goalie let that in, fans would be screaming for the guy to be traded. Yep. It hit his logo. Like, it almost hit the center of his chest, and it still went in. Like, you know, he made a couple other good saves. So, but that's how LA plays, right? They clog it up. They protect their goaltender from a lot of grade A chances. But again, I didn't think the Oilers played horrible. They had some good moments. Like, the third line had some good moments.
Yep.
I heard you guys talking earlier, though, like, is Rostovic really a center? No, he isn't. But he's probably doing a better job than Henrique in terms of, at least in the offensive end, you know, the all-around game. Maybe not, and he doesn't kill penalties.
Can I ask you something? You brought up Henrique. Are these guys a quicker team with him out of the lineup? I feel like everybody's going to say yes, but I noticed it. I'm like,
no, they are. They're quicker with him out, and they're quicker with Kapanen back. And
Yes.
3 consecutive good games for Kapanen is, I think, a record for him as an Oiler.
That's why I think we might get Popeyes from Dusty on Wednesday.
Yeah,
with 2 games to go.
Whoa.
Yeah, we will.
Whoa. All right.
But him and Podkolzin, what a forecheck to set up that first goal.
Yeah.
I like it.
Was that my buddy Brant Clark that he clobbered in the corner?
You love Brant Clark. He
And
is your
then,
favorite NHL defenseman.
And then, like, he doesn't get an assist on that play, but he frees it up for Kapanen to make a good pass. Like, the team does look a little different the last couple of games without Henrique, with Howard and Savoy on the same line. Knoblock even put the 4th line out late in the third period. I was quite surprised to see that.
Yes.
I guess he was showing a little bit of trust on that. But I think this is just one of those games, like they played okay. LA played okay. LA was probably a little better over the course of the 60 minutes. I mean, the Oilers got a weird sequence because that was not offside on the power play.
No, that's true.
That was,
and then 4 seconds later, McDavid gets tripped going in. I was talking to somebody who thought that was a dive. I don't know. I think he kind of got slashed on the play. So
you got 2 guys slash him at the hands.
So yeah, I thought he was legitimately slashed.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just one of these, like, it's almost a dog days game where neither team was great, neither team was awful. I mean, it goes to a shootout. It could have gone either way. They didn't get the goals in the skills competition. So disappointing they can't win 3 in a row, but take the point and try to play a little more complete game coming up on Monday.
All right, you can text us 780-218-9999. Nasty Chat, it's doing its thing. Good to see. We've got a nice big audience watching. I'm sure a good one listening as well right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola, Reid Wilkins, Ben Thomson with you. It is Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell. Something we discussed, maybe you caught some of it on your way back home, Reid, was the goaltending. And people ask you about Ingram and has he taken this job from Calvin Pickard when Jari comes back? What do you do? How do you look at this after this performance from Ingram?
Well, I think he was fine. I mean, tough one on the first goal, bit of a pass ball there with it dropping out of his glove. I mean, you'd love to see that obviously caught and snared. But except for the Boston game, there haven't been any obvious bad goals. There hasn't kind of been a deflating goal at the wrong time of the game when you really needed a save. Pickard's obviously had a couple of very good games, but overall, like I heard the text you read, I haven't sorted it lately, but he's at or near the bottom for goaltenders who have played enough games to qualify for the stats,
it's like
right?
Third worst,
you have to have a third of your minutes. So I think Ingram currently is the number 2 goaltender after Jari. And I guess with Jari out, he's the number 1. Now we know they're going to split the next 2 games because it's back-to-back. And Knoblock said earlier today we could see Jari this week. I mean, this is a busy schedule here for the Oilers, right? Because it's is it 7 games in 11 days overall? It's 5 and 7 starting Monday. So yeah, it'd be 7 in 11 overall. So it's a busy stretch. So hopefully Jari's back sooner rather than later. But yeah, I think if the Oilers had to pick between Ingram or Pickard right now, I don't even think it's a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Ingram, which I can't believe I'm saying given how bad his stats were in the AHL, but he's been pretty good in the NHL.
Just kind of quietly steady,
I would say, and like a couple times, like, I used to, the one thing I used to worry about Skinner was like a big guy who didn't, to me, have enough pucks hit him on screenshots. And there's been a couple times like there's been screenshots and Ingram's been able to find it or have it hit him and snare it or put it to the corner. So he's been good. I mean, I think in this day and age in the NHL, if you hold the team to 2 against, you've had a pretty good game. If you hold them to 3, hopefully you've at least given your team a chance to win it or win it in overtime or a shootout. And I thought that's what Ingram did tonight.
Benny, anything for Redirect before we look ahead to Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, just defensively, we got a text earlier about where you think they need to upgrade. Like, just in your mind, Reid, is it do you need to bolster this blue line a little more, or do you need to go for some depth scoring? What do you think?
Well, I think they need both.
But if you could only satisfy one,
honestly, I would still improve the third line.
Yeah. You have faith in this blue line with Wallman coming back?
No, but it's better with Wallman coming back. I think Emerson has quietly been quite competent. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wouldn't give up on Regula, because a year ago it was kind of like, Emerson, some days he's good, some days he's bad. Mm-hmm. So you hope a year, it'd be nice, but you can't have all 23 players on your roster at the peaks of their career at the same time. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I think, Stillman is a good safety net if you have to go that deep. I mean, he's kind of been okay when he's played. Mm-hmm. This is the thing, right? Like, you can never have enough defenseman. So I think Stillman's good because he's a little older and he's got some experience. Emerson's kind of quietly turned into a decent third pairing or in and out of the lineup type of guy. I hope Regula keeps getting games. He's not going to get every game, but I definitely wouldn't give up on him. I mean, I think you got to, and again, this is not a deep franchise with players on the farm, so you don't want to throw every young guy in a trade to try to get an immediate improvement.
All right, so they go Chicago and Nashville, dad's trip, back-to-back, boom, boom, come back against the Islanders on Thursday. What do you want to see on Monday night?
Well, I'd like to see the same forward lines. I don't think he's going to tinker with them. And I'd like to see a bottom six goal, like actually bang one in. I do think that Roslovic, Savoy, Howard line is maybe close to scoring. Like I don't think Roslovic can stay there, but in the short term, I think he's going to have to play there, and it'd be nice to see them get rewarded because I do think that they are working hard and they're trying to figure it out. So I'd like to see that, and then like again with the goaltending, they're going to split the games. So solid goaltending, give your team a chance to win it.
Very nicely done, Riedrich. Get yourself some rest, maybe a splash of cola if you find some in your home, and enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you on Monday. All right.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Ben. See you.
That's Reed's Reed with our very own Reid Wilkins, brought to you by Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Benny Thomson, it is past midnight, well past midnight. We do have a pretty good audience. Do we run Chris Knoblock or we go right into the player of the game? What say you?
I'm curious to hear what Knoblock says about the whole overtime situation. So this is Chris Knoblock from the locker room tonight.
How would you evaluate your game top to bottom tonight?
I thought it was okay. I thought we could have did a little bit more. I thought we didn't have as many shots as I'd like. I would have liked a little more offense there. And I thought we had a lot of missed nets. I thought we were in the slot with the puck a lot, fired them when we probably should have, but just either they were getting blocked or missing the net. So I thought there were some missed opportunities there.
What did you see on the overtime goal that was called back?
I thought it should have counted. I thought he was driving the net, and don't usually see that turned over, but.
Okay, I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot here with a call, but what do you mean when you say you usually thought that wouldn't be turned over? Like it was when the contact happened, or how Connor maybe hit the puck, or?
I don't know. I thought he just drove the puck around the pad and beat him. I don't think there was any interference that caused that. Connor drove it wide, put it around him, and then there was some contact, but the puck was already by him, hit the post off him, and then went in. So but usually whatever the call's on the ice is usually what stands up. It's usually that's what happens. So.
Podkolzin doesn't get an assist on that play, the goal in the first period, but he was in there with a big hit. What makes him, beyond that, just such a good forechecker?
Oh, he had a great game tonight. So many big hits, and obviously he set up the first one with just getting in on the forecheck. But I think a lot of things that Pods does is he just creates offensive time, whether he's putting a little fear in the opposition because they know they're going to get hit, or numerous times he was able to break up plays with his stick. And then, he can make some plays. It's not that it's all dump and chase and a simple game. Like, he can make some plays. So, Pods is a good support player.
Connor McDavid ran his point streak to 18 games today. I just want to ask you just a thought on what's the key to being consistent? How is he able to stay consistent night in and night out? And, guys have off nights, but he just doesn't seem to have them.
Yeah, no, that's tough to do in the NHL when you're playing against the best every night. Not only the best in the league, but the best of the best, because usually they're matching playing against him. And for him to do that over and over again, because there are nights when he might get some chances and then puck just doesn't go in. So you got to be able to generate quite a bit. So one, he's an extremely talented hockey player, very focused and very consistent. Another thing is with that streak, another thing is the power play's going really well. Power play's going really well, a lot that he's a part of, but that also helps too.
How much is...
All right, that was Chris Knoblock. And listen, man, the more I think about it, the more I see that replay, I started getting frustrated earlier in the show. I thought about it more. Like, that should be a goal, but early, like right at the start, I was like, it's not a goal, because we're so used to soft incidental contact now being overturned most of the time, which is sad.
That's and he said it there. Usually the call that was on the ice is usually the one that stands.
Yeah,
they very rarely turn that over, especially in that situation where it's like he did technically make contact with the goalie.
Right.
Did it cause the goalie to not be able to stop the puck? No, I still think that puck still goes in, whether Connor runs into him or not. But Connor still hit him. So it's I agree with you. It's stupid, but at the same time, though, there's gonna be certain things that they're gonna call later, like how's that not goal interference? It's such a weird premise to try to understand with goaltending interference. It's rough.
Hope for the best, expect the worst from the officiating. That's basically the National Hockey League. All right, Benny, give us the player of the game.
Yeah, the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting has been a top producing realtor in the greater area over for 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out at damonbunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Player of the game, I got to go here. I have to. He was a third star on the first time I wanted to give it to him. He had a pretty solid game last game, and on the drive home, I was like, I should have given it to him. Tonight I'm doing it. He's not a third star. He's staying on that second line. You can bet on it.
You watch your mouth.
Kasperi Kapanen. I mean, since his return, man, 3 games. I mean, he said it in his post-game interview. He'd expect to feel this good coming back from his injury, but he's played really well. That forecheck that him and Podkolzin have been able to generate with each other, the chemistry they have, really allows Leon to have the puck a lot more, which is the number one goal of that line, right? You get Leon the puck, go get open. And I think they know their roles really well and try to get it to him. And yeah, their forechecks doing really well, but also Captain's playmaking ability. And you saw that in Leon's first goal there. It was a great feed for him to bury his first one of the night. So Kasperi Kapanen, man, I mean, we'll see if he continues this streak that he's on right now. He's playing pretty damn well. And the problem with him is his inconsistency, and we'll see if that teeters. But right now, he's playing pretty damn well, so he gets player of the game for Damon Bunting.
Kapanen picking up his 6th point of the season, 5th assist, and just his 9th game. Also finishes the night +2, so that makes him +1 on the year. Had a shot as well as a couple of hits, and yeah, he's looked good. So that's encouraging, and I think that's a good thing. If he can maintain that consistency, I think that spot's there for them or for him. I just have my doubts, okay?
Yeah.
And I want Dusty to pay for all of us to have lunch on Wednesday.
Love to have pop-ups.
So I'm keeping the faith.
I would love to.
I'm keeping the faith. I'm keeping the faith. We'll see how it goes. All right. So the Oilers drop a 4-3 shootout decision. They do pick up a point, and they do fall 1 point behind Vegas, who did win tonight. And they have an opportunity on Monday in Chicago to pick up a couple more against the Blackhawks team that's been playing better. And then the next night they're in Nashville against a Nashville team that has been playing better. We'll see how that goes. We'll see both goalies of this one. We'll see what Tristan Jarry comes back. But it was disappointing. They can't pick up their 3rd straight victory. Haven't been able to do it all season. We'll see if they could get another back-to-back win situation that leads to an opportunity for their first winning streak on Thursday when they return home against the New York Islanders. Been a fun show. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to go and grab a blanket and get to a cocoon because this head cold is killing me. A big thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who listened on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. And to those watching over on YouTube, hit the thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate you staying up late with us on a Saturday night where the Oilers fall 4-3 in the shootout to the Los Angeles Kings. For Betty Thomson, Reid Wilkins, and Matt Cassian, I'm Tom Gazzola saying have a great night, stay warm, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.